everything is weird about this for me. It's just like, I'm just like, I guess a socially awkward kind of, don't really put myself out there. Well, I do with fighting, but it's like I've never really put myself out there in life. So it's like to be in these kind of positions, it's all a lot for me.
Wow. Well, it's amazing that the way you handle fighting, you could handle this the same way you handle fighting. You just get comfortable with it.
I think that, I don't know, for me, social situations are a lot harder than like fighting situations.
Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Has it always been like that?
100%.
Since you were a child?
Yeah. I feel like I've always been like the socially awkward kid in the back of the class, like the nerd. Well, I still am, like at the gym. But I volunteered with animals my whole life. I volunteered at like the Humane Society, a horse rescue, wildlife rehab. Just like animals were my thing. And then it was just kind of left field. I started kickboxing when I was 16.
Just for fun?
Yeah, I really don't know where it came, like what the idea was. But
where'd you start? What gym?
At Dean's gym.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you got lucky.
So, exactly. One of Dean's pro fighters worked for my dad. So, I wanted to start kickboxing, and then my dad found out that this guy was a pro fighter for Dean. So, he ended up finding his gym, and that was the first gym I started at.
Wow. Well, what a great place to start. And so then you start kickboxing, and how long before you decide, well, what about this MMA stuff? How long was that?
I think it was probably like 4 or 5 months before I started taking the MMA class there, but I wasn't like thinking about fighting. It was just there was a kid who was on the wrestling team at my high school who started training at Dean's gym, and he was like, oh, why don't you take the MMA class? And I thought, okay, I'll have a partner. Why don't I try it? And I just kept on doing it. And then I was training like every day for like 3 hours a night, you know? And they're like, all right, well, why don't we just get you a fight at this point?
Wow. What was it about fighting and martial arts that you became so obsessed with?
I really think it was one. I don't know what it was at first, because I didn't start jiu-jitsu, especially in the gi, until like a year after I started training. But when I started gi jiu-jitsu, I fell in love with that 100%, where it's just the technique of it and the little tiny details of jiu-jitsu that matter so much. Like if you put your thumb on this side of the hand or on this side of the hand, it makes a huge difference. It's like the little tiny techniques that can make the difference, where now 115-pound girl at the time could do whatever she wanted to a 200-pound guy. You know, I was manhandling these guys around the room. And I'm like, just because of these techniques that I learned. And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that is an amazing thing. Jiu-jitsu is the one martial art that delivers as promised, where the smaller trained person can defeat the larger untrained person. Whereas a lot of other martial arts, I mean, you have a better chance, but when they're really big, you know, and some guy's swinging it, if he knows how to punch a little bit and you get clubbed with one of those giant hams, you get fucked up. But if you get into a struggle, like some sort of a scramble, and you knock into some chairs, and all of a sudden you get a hold of this person, well, now he's fucked. That's what's crazy. It's like that a small person can physically control and submit a much stronger person regularly. It happens all the time. It happens with black belts.
Even in striking, it's like a person cannot know anything, but if they're big enough, they throw their hand the right way, they can knock you out.
Yeah. If you get hit with Francis Ngannou's pinky, you're in trouble.
Exactly.
You know, there's certain people that they're so powerful. Like the idea that you're going to stand and trade with them is crazy. They're going to hit you once and you're dead. You know, that's like, it just doesn't work that well.
Jiu-jitsu, it's just there's not the variant of space. Right. So there's not that element of like guessing, where it's like I can control and I can feel what you're going to do by touching you. It's like it makes it a lot easier. You're not guessing with that space of striking.
You're also not guessing the variables, like how fast is this person? How fast am I accustomed to people punching me? Is this person much faster? Do I have to anticipate that? Because if you ever see like street fight videos, the most horrific ones are some poor asshole who wants to start a fight with someone who's a trained fighter, and the trained fighter fucks him up. But you could see, like, they have no idea how fast things can happen. Like, I'm sure you've seen the Joe Schilling one.
Yes,
the Joe Schilling one's ridiculous. But there's no way that guy could have known that could happen that quickly. There's no way.
And people don't expect like for someone like me, a lot of times I get, I would never guess that you're a fighter. For someone like Joe Schilling, is still even like, oh yeah, you wouldn't like just
looks
see
like
him.
an axe murderer.
But you just see him walking around. Like most people, you don't expect that they're
Joe Schilling. You don't expect it.
I don't
He looks
know. With
like
him,
a
they're probably
psycho to me.
Yeah. But say like Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall's a great example.
Yeah, you don't expect him to be a fighter, but it's like you never know what somebody's capable of when it comes to sports like this.
Oh, for sure. But